And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vassell.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at the fourth in the series from Yellow, the Tales and Games. And this one's based on the very popular fable, The Grasshopper and the Ant. And in case you don't remember that fable, each of these games comes with a story here. And this one's written as a couple poems too. And I always feel bad because the grasshopper always dies or has a bad time at the end. I know he didn't work hard, but come on, give the guy a break. Okay, anyway. So the object of this game, though, is more about outguessing your opponents. These games are often meant for children, and this is no exception, although this one can be played with adults. And of course, it comes in the box that looks like a book. Isn't that cool? Let's see if the game is cool. In the basic game, you're going to set up some random tiles out here. There's 4 different types of floor. You got stone, wood, tile, and then this carpet or picnic blanket or whatever it is. You'll notice that there are bugs on some of them. All right, so you're going to place these out here. One player is going to be the ant player first. Another player is going to be the grasshopper player. So the ant player is going to take ants, and they're going to put ants out like this in a line. Somehow, they can make it a line any way they want. Maybe they'll make the line like this. Then that ant is going to secretly pick which of these tiles they're going to harvest on. So they're going to pick one of these 4 tiles and put it face down, and that's the one they're going to harvest. Now, if they harvest stone, they're going to get 3 tiles because they're on 3. If they harvest the other 3 colors, they're only going to get 1. The grasshopper tries to pick which one they think the ant will do. Probably the ant will do the one with 3 on it because that's 3 tiles as opposed to 1. But maybe the ant knows I'm going to do that, so he'll pick this one instead. But maybe the ant knows I do that, so anyway, whatever. So the grasshopper puts here. The ant reveals, no, the ant picked wood. So the ant player takes the wood tile and keeps it. Now, before they keep it, they take a wood tile. So over here on a scoring board, that ant is going to move 1 on the wood tile track. So let's say I'm the white player. I'll move 1 over. Okay? Then, if there's a bug on the tile, you get to keep it. So the ant player, oh, okay, there was a bug, so he keeps that. Then the ant player is going to end their turn. If the ant player got it. If the ant player did not get that tile, then let's say the grasshopper had guessed successfully. Then the grasshopper would get the tile, and the same thing would happen for the grasshopper player. We would replace it, and then the ant player would go again. The ant player continues to take their turn until they get some tiles. Until they get, the grasshopper doesn't guess correctly. The grasshopper player, though, gets passed around the table to the next player. So players will take turns being the grasshopper tile. In a 2-player game, the same player would stay as the grasshopper. But you're going to keep guessing. So players are going to keep guessing and getting tiles. Either the grasshopper is going to get them or the ants. Each time the ant player goes, he can rearrange the ants in some sort of line and take the tiles. Sometimes you'll get a pile of tiles, sometimes you won't. Meanwhile, over here on this track, players are going to be moving their cubes as they win different tiles. When someone gets to the 10 on 2 of the different lines here, then that's the last round of the game. After that happens, players are going to score based on where their cubes are. They're also going to look at the bugs that they've gotten. If I have here 1 bug of this type, that's worth 1 point. But let's say I have 2 of this ladybug style bug, then that's worth 3 points. If you get 4 of the same bug, you'll get 10 points. So bugs are bonus points. The most points is the winner. In the winter harvest version of the game, there's a couple things that happen. First, there's going to be some red ant players. They're going to basically just be picking where they think the ant player goes, and so they can possibly win. If they're correct, they'll draw a tile off the top of the deck and get a tile added to their collection. And then on your turn, you can also spend these to get one of these cards. And these cards are going to be giving you points. And the first person to get a certain number of these points is the winner of the game. Finally, in the winter version of the game, there's a power to the beetle this expert variant where you can use bugs that you've collected to do different things. Like maybe, for example, this one here, you can play it when you're the grasshopper, where you can look at one of the tokens that the ant did not use. Or when you play this one here, you can swap one of your cards with an opponent. So there's different things that you can do with the bugs. And other than that, the game is the same, except instead of trying to get the most points at the end of the game, you're trying to get these cards and get points that way. So there you have it. That's the grasshopper and the ant. This is the fourth in the series, and I think this is an excellent one. It is my second favorite in the series after the hare and the tortoise, which is the one that came right before this. I think this is fun. It's just simply trying to outguess your opponent, playing the whole Princess Bride thing. I think he would have taken those two, but he knows I think he would have taken those two. And kids have fun trying to guess that or outsmarting their parents, right? Like, ha ha, I picked this one and you didn't think I'd pick it. And even if someone does outguess you, they still will get to go again. And so there's lots and lots of these guesses over the course of the game. Now, the advanced game adds in the special bug powers, and it's kind of like 2 games in one box. And I think that the winter game is fine, trying to get different resources to collect it. It almost has a, like a kind of a Euro game entry point. Oh, you need to get 2 of that and 1 of these to get this card. And then using the bugs, there's a little bit of a take that element to the game. But I actually kind of prefer, I think, the original game, just to straight up guessing. There's nothing else in the game. Now, I mean, granted, there comes a point where, like, does he want those 3 tiles? We'll move him on that track, but there's another ladybug, and I saw him take a ladybug before, and multiple ladybugs will give him more points. And really, as you play, you're like, oh, collecting these sets of bugs is a really big deal. So I think I kind of like the simplicity of that first game better, but it doesn't really matter since you get both in the same box, and it gives you more options. So this is a very solid addition to the series, The Grasshopper and the Ant, one that I liked and my kids liked very much. So I would highly recommend you check this out. Dice Tower Judgment, approved!
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Chiudi la porta!